What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne, and this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there, waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complication.
Hey, everybody. So, the biggest board game convention in the country is right around the corner, and that is GenCon over in Indianapolis. And there is a lot of excitement in the board game community because there are a lot of great new board games that are showing up at this convention. Now, as it stands right now, unfortunately, Alicia and I won't be attending GenCon. And as it stands, because I'm good with let's go to this convention that's maybe like 3 or 4 hours away from where we are. I will definitely pull off a day trip because I love going to board game conventions. Now, it's not really just about the board games for me, but it's also just about seeing the wonderful people in the board game community. There are a lot of people that are converging on the city of Indianapolis to check out GenCon, to check out the new board games, but also to see people that you usually don't see. You only see them via email or text or phone call or whatever. You want to see them in person. And so there are a lot of great people that I enjoy conversing with that are coming to GenCon. But I wanted to talk about some great games that are showing up at GenCon. Now, there have been a lot of board game content about GenCon releases. Well, I want to just talk about board games that you can pick up at GenCon that you can introduce to people trying to bring them into the board game community. There's some heavy games that I definitely want to try out, but I also got a lot of games on my shelves that need to be played. So I'm trying to pull back a little bit, famous last words. But I want to tell you about some board games that if you are trying to bring other people into this wonderful hobby that is board games, to show people how, board games can be an asset to your life, bring families together and stuff, then I'm going to tell you about five board games. I almost held up 4. I don't know why. Thumb right there. But I'm going to tell you about 5 board games that you should definitely pick up at GenCon. Now, the first one is one that I've already picked up at my local board game store. And over this past weekend, we had our board game meetup and we had our board game day at another board game store. And we have played this game about 10 times already. And that is this game coming from All Play, Things in Rings. Now, this is a great board game that if you want to bring new people into the hobby, you should definitely check this out. So pretty much, Things in Rings, you're going to have these 3 different color rings made of string. And you're going to create a Venn diagram on the table. And so the colors is red, blue, and yellow. And so yellow is going to have you're trying to place words, these cards that represent different miscellaneous items, things and rings, into these different circles based on the clues that the knower, or I prefer to call them the know-it-all, knows. So, like the blue ring will represent attributes of the item. So the item contains wood, or could be alive, or could be bigger than yourself, pretty much. The yellow ring represents the construction of the word, like it could be compound word, or have 2 consecutive identical vowels in the word, and then the red one is more of the context, like this item can usually be found in a school, or rich people usually own this item. And so the goal of the game is for each player, they're going to be dealt 5 item cards. And the goal of the game is to rid your hand of these item cards. And you're going to be placing them in these rings based on whether or not it fits those clues, you know. And so, like I said, in a Venn diagram, it could go solely in the blue circle, or it can go in the red. It can go both in blue and red, or blue and yellow, or whatever. And then the know-it-all is going to take that card, and if you're right, he's going to tell you that it's right, because he knows the clues. The clues are kept secret from all the other players. And he knows the clues, and he's going to tell you that if you're right, then that card stays where it is, and you get to take another turn. If you're wrong, he's going to take that card, that item card, and he's going to move it to where it rightfully goes. There's also an area off to the side called none, so it could not fit any of those clues. And then that player is going to draw another card. And like I said, what you're trying to do is rid your hand of all your item cards. Now, like I said, we played this probably about 10 times, 8 times this past Friday at the board game meetup. And the cool part about it is, even though this is a competitive game and you can play it cooperatively, it wasn't even about who was able to get rid of all their item cards. It was more about if the players can figure out the clues. So as the know-it-all, it is challenging, because some of those items come out and you're like, will it fit here? You know, like it might be a clue and attributes that says it will hurt if it's dropped on you, you know? And so you put a kangaroo and you're like, okay, who's going to drop a kangaroo on you? You know, but yeah, if it's dropped on you somehow, it would hurt. So the know-it-all will put the kangaroo over there. So, I mean, we've had so much fun with this game. And it's just a simple word game. I love the art, kind of like Dr. Seuss style, you know. And I really, really like this game. And like I said, if you want to pick up a game at GenCon that's going to bring other people into the hobby, this would be a great game to introduce them to. Now, the next game, of course, is a game that I don't own, but it's a game that we demoed at Origins. And so we have been going on, this game is from Arcane Wonders, and we've been going on about Super Kawaii Pets. We picked that up at Origins, and we have been, it was given to us for review, and we have been introducing it to our family members during family reunion. We've been going out of town, introducing it on the cruise and stuff like that, and people have really been liking this game. But I'm not going to talk about Super Kawaii Pets, because Arcane Wonder has another game that we actually demoed at Origins, and that's called Vegetable Stock. Now, Vegetable Stock is a quick little filler game where there's these vegetable cards, and you're going to deal out a number of cards plus 1 over the number of players. So if you're playing with 4 players, you're going to deal out 5 cards. And then there's this chart that has the stock for how much each vegetable is worth. And so on your turn, you're going to pick one of those vegetable cards. There's eggplant, carrot, broccoli, stuff like that, corn. And then when everybody has picked their card, there's going to be 1 vegetable card left. And in the corner, there's 3 vegetable icons, different, like it could be 2 eggplant and broccoli. And so being that that's the card that's left, the stock, the cost for that vegetable, what that vegetable is worth, will go up. And so it goes from 0 to 5. So as it goes up, you have to be careful, because if it hits 5, it crashes. And so what you're trying to do is manipulate the stock before all the cards run out. And then everybody's going to receive points based on how much each of those vegetables are worth. And like, I really, really enjoyed the game. Now, Alicia, she was more like, it reminded her of Point Solid, which, that's cool. There's a lot of games that come out that reminds you of other games. But as another content creator said, new games are for new players. And so I really enjoyed Vegetable Stock, and it's definitely a game I will pick up if I was going to GenCon. Now, that's number 2. The third game I want to tell you about is Rebel Princess. Now, and Rebel Princess is from Bezier Games. And Rebel Princess is a trick-taking game but it has theme to it. I first learned about this game from Amy and Maggie, Thinker Themer. And what you're trying to do is, you're like I said, it's a trick-taking game, and you're winning books, but you're trying not to win the princess. So the theme of this game is you represent a princess, like Snow White or somebody. Snow White, Cinderella. And you are going to this party, and now the princess, all the princes are coming down to give out their marriage proposals. And marriage proposals are bad. So you're trying to win tricks, but you're also trying not to get marriage proposals into your books that you earn. Because at the end of the game, it's not about like your books, but it's more like who has the least marriage proposals. That means that princess has succeeded in remaining single. And I'm really interested in this game because it is a mechanic of trick taking. I got a lot of friends that play hearts and spades and stuff like that. So I think I would definitely be able to introduce this game to new players, just to let them know there's so many different card games out there. So that's Rebel Princess. Now, the fourth one I want to talk about is I forgot the name of it. It's from 25th Century Games. So if I say the name wrong, I think it's called Circus flohcati, And now, when I was looking at Circus flohcati, I was looking at the BGG list. And as it stands out right now, there are 560 games showing up at GenCon. And first of all, I want to give a special thanks to the Board Game Geek team for compiling this list. That gives everybody a heads up, like, hey, these are the games that's coming out. And they do that with Origins, they do it with PAX, they do it with Essence, and they just do a really, really great and thorough job. So Circus flohcati, hope I'm saying it right, is actually a game that I have played before. Like one of my Ralph, one of the guys at my Friday night board game meetup, he always brings these small Japanese games that he finds online. And so he brought the Japanese version of this game, and we played it, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I was like wondering where could I get it, but we couldn't find it. And then when I was researching on Circus flohcati, I saw the images, and I was like, wait a minute, I played this game before. And so I don't remember much of it, but I remember that I really had fun at the time. This was a couple years ago. And I really wanted to pick up this game, but I couldn't find it. So now 25th Century has a reiteration of it. And like I said, what I do remember is there are cards in the middle of the table, and you either draw cards from the middle of the table, or you draw a card from the top of the deck, because you're trying to get sets of 3 in order to score 10 points. That's as much as I can remember. But I'm really excited, and I'm kicking myself because they had it available at Origins, and I would have picked it up there, but it just didn't click to me that this was a game that I already did enjoy. So, number 5 is, of course, a game that my wife and I have talked about at length, on this channel. Well, actually, no. Yes. Number 5 is Comic Hunters. Now, everybody loves Marvel. I mean, not everybody, but the majority of people love Marvel movies. The Marvel lore, Marvel comic books, stuff like that. And as you can see, I love Marvel, So this game is where it's a set collection game where you're collecting comic books. You're going to the store, you're going to garage sales, you're going to flea markets or whatever, and you're just collecting comic books. But the cool part about this game, it has the original art on the game. Now, off the top of my head, I cannot remember who's bringing this. So I'll put it in the video, but the Comic Hunters is a game me and my wife are really excited to get in our hands so we can play it again, because we really enjoyed that game. And I think that this is a great game that you can introduce to new players, because like I said, the Marvel comics, the actual Marvel covers, will draw people in. Now, as I'm talking, there was a 6th game that I was really interested in, and I believe it's coming from Floodgate Games. So there is a 6. I'm not even going, it's not an honorable mention. It deserves to be part of the list. So that's number 6. And it's Floodgate Games, and that is Landmarks. Now, Landmarks is a cooperative game where one player is trying to lead his other players through the wilderness. We're lost in the wilderness, and we're, and the active player, or the guide per se, is trying to lead the other players out of the jungle with one word clues. So it's a word game, you know. And you know what I'm heard about it, I'm like, oh, I like this. I like games that give me that explorer feel. And my wife, she likes games with using words, you know. So she's really enjoying things in rings. So this comes right up both our alley. So Landmarks is another game that if you want to get people into this board game hobby, this is a game to check out. Now, like I said, there are so many other games that I'm interested in. Some heavier games. There are some games that are really, really hot right now, like you know, Rock Hard 1977. There's Windmill Valley, the Reef Project. There's so many different games that are coming out, and I've seen so much content on it. But I wanted to focus on games that you could pick up at GenCon that you can introduce to new players and get them interested in this hobby. And I say that coming off of a whole weekend of teaching and showing other people all these different games in different venues. And I love having that opportunity. And like I said, I hate that the plan right now is I'm not going to be going to GenCon. But like my real reason to go is, like I said, I want to see so many of the other people in this board game space that I have come to know and have shown me love, and just having fun playing games with them. And I love watching their channels grow, you know. So, but like I said, as it stands, there still is Sunday. I'm off Sunday. I don't know what my wife's doing on Sunday, but hey, I don't know. You might watch this video now and then like see a Sunday be like, wait a minute, I thought you guys weren't coming. You know, I was trying my hardest to come. But there you have it. Just real quick, just put out some GenCon content for you guys. And for those of you that are actually going to GenCon, I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope you're able to pick up the games that you're looking for. And maybe we'll see you there. Maybe not, but I'm still here. If you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I'm Dwayne. This has been Blackboard Gaming, and we will see you next time.